Hi guys, so we haven't done anything as far as the mountain goes for a while. We've been kind of hiding out the winter, but we haven't stopped thinking about what we're doing. And one of the projects that we're going to need to do is piers for our building. So I had an idea that I'm going to try to use for making those piers, molding them. We want to precast them and then just set them in place. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, this is a contraption that I came up with from watching some YouTube videos on making cement flower pots, and they use sand to make an initial shape and then coat it with cement, or in this case mortar mix, and some Portland cement. And the object is that this pulls around and shapes the initial form that you're trying to get. This will be kind of a bell shape for our pier foundations, and we'll have rebar in it and everything. The foam pieces are just in here to take up some of the sand volume, so I don't have to mess with the sand so much, but it'll make more sense as we go along. Okay, I've never done anything like this particular project before, so kind of cutting new ground here. First thing I got to do is get some water mixed into the sand so that it can be compacted. It's got a little bit in it, but not enough for it to stick together, so that won't hold any kind of shape. Doesn't look like a really good sand for this sort of a project, but make it work somehow. It's not holding the shape yet. I've been mixing some water into this sand, and it became apparent that it just wasn't going to stick together because there's nothing in there to really make it stick together. But years ago I tried doing some aluminum foundry with sand cast techniques, and luckily I got a bucket of sand left over from that hobby. And this sand has bentonite in it, which is a clay that they use for like food products for livestock, dogs. They make it use it for sticking the food together to make pellets. So I'm going to mix that into the sand, and that should make it stick together. And this was the play sand that I put a little bit of the foundry mix into, and it kind of sticks together, but it's still crumbly. And then this is the foundry sand mixed in with some of the other sand. This stuff packs up really well, holds its shape. It's a little on the damp side. You would want to get this wet for foundry work, but it should work good for what I'm trying to accomplish, which is just getting a form for some cement to lay up on top of. Okay, I'm going to start packing some of the sand around this thing. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I have no idea how it's going to come out. Okay, this is what we got so far. We got the sand packed up into our fixture here. Debbie helped get the majority of it done, so that helped a lot. And that form just goes around there, and this is just packed sand so far. I got to take these two screws out here, and we'll remove this section right here, and then we can start putting cement on this to turn it into a solid shape. First, we're going to coat it with just some plain Portland cement.
You need a big cake basket. Not go with that water. So then do you let that dry, or do you have to put the next coat on?
No, we're going to just continue right on and put the next
Okay.
coat on after this is applied.
Okay. Do you need more?
No, I think we just need to distribute what we have on here.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to mix up some pre-mixed mortar. It already has the sand in it. We could have put our own sand in it, but rather than mess around, I'll just use what I know works. Now we have a load of mortar mix done up. I believe this was type M, and we just have to coat about an inch of mortar over this thing, and then we'll use our jig to strike off a surface so that it's even all the way around.
I got a feeling I'm going to end up using my hands.
It's best if you don't put your hands in this. I'll just cut it. So as we pack the mortar mix up, we have to fill up this entire gap along here. Some more packing. All right, this is what we got done yesterday. We decided to give up on it because the surface seemed to kind of float a little bit when you're pushing on it, and I didn't know how well it was going to stay up there. I guess if you're making a flower pot or something, you don't care. I wanted to try to keep a little bit of a more uniform shape to it, so now we just got to add another layer over the top of it here, and that should pretty much finish this up. And then I'll have the plug for my mold that I want to make. Okay, it's been a couple of days now, and we got this thing kind of smoothed out. I sanded off rough spots, revised this upper edge here a little bit, and I'll show you what that's about. But that is the basic plug for our piers. And what we're going to do is put 12-inch columns on these, and I've sized it so that that's a snug fit onto that first step that's in there. I don't know if it shows it here. So these are 12-inch tubes for concrete, and they're nominal, which means it's about that size, and they come in basically 3 different sizes because you'll find them in the store all nested inside of each other. So it says plus or minus a ½ inch. This particular one is a 12-inch tube, so I'll have actual 12-inch columns. And then I also sized it to accommodate the half size or ½ inch larger one. And that drops down onto the next step. So between those 2 sizes, I should be able to find the ones that I want. When you go into the stores, they're obviously 3 different sizes, so this gives me the option to pick from 2 of them. And so that'll be that for now. Next step is going to be covering this thing with wax. I'm going to take care of any imperfections in it. There's a little bit of area up here at the top that didn't get filled, so the wax will take care of that. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing how we do the fiberglass mold for this, hit the subscribe button there, and we'll keep you in the loop. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and lots more crazy stuff to come.